Solana Astrology update for June 6th, which is the day of the new moon here. All right, I wanted to pop on, guys, to give an update for Solana. I've got a lot of requests for that. But good evening, crypto astronauts, depending on where you're tuning in from, and welcome back to the Crypto Astro Paradise. We look at cosmic charts and cryptocurrents, navigating the digital seas with astrology. And if you're new here, I do technical analysis and run an astrology birth chart today for Solana and see if the astrology patterns correlate with the technical analysis. Please subscribe, as I'll be coming out with a lot of these high-value videos, but none of this content is financial or investment advice. This content is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. All right, let's take a look at the chart. So here is the Solana chart. Things are looking good. We got recently, we hit these lows around 118, then we got a higher low at 138, and is this potentially a higher low at 161? That would be very bullish. In that case, we would not head below 160 approximately, but that's not guaranteed. We're sitting pretty. We are looking quite bullish right now. It has been going up, and if we look at the weekly chart, we've got a higher low forming here. We haven't gotten the next swing bottom, so it looks like on the weekly, we haven't confirmed if it is a higher low yet. So we will see what happens with that. But we can take a deeper look at the astrology to see if there's any hints with what direction things are going. All right, and we can even look at the monthly, looking good. The 2-month chart, I've talked about this many times before, but this is potentially a gravestone doji here, where we went way up to the peak and then we headed all the way back down to the opening, the 2-month opening, around 126. We are sitting way above that right now, but it's going to be really interesting to see where we close in July. Yeah, that's going to be very, very interesting. Okay, let me just double check that the volume is good. Everyone can hear me. I am tuning in on a new computer here, so let me know if there's any technical issues. I think I got everything set up properly. All right, well, we can look at the astrology in a moment. We could even also look at the DXY real quick. This is the dollar compared to other currencies around the world. And when the DXY goes up, that's bearish for crypto. When the DXY falls off, that means the dollar loses its value, which is bullish for crypto. All right, so the dollar has been falling steadily. We're still hanging out just above this 50% level at 103.9. But if we break below that, things are looking good. You see that we are clearly in a downward trend here. If we go from here down to, something like that. Nice downward trend there. So that is looking bullish so far for crypto. The thing to look out for is if we bounce off of here and we go back up, that would not be good. But things are looking really good so far, very bullish for crypto. Okay, we can also look at the Solana versus Bitcoin pair chart. So this is how strong Solana is compared to Bitcoin. Man, ever since September last year, Solana is outperforming Bitcoin considerably. And we're still creating higher low. We're still sitting above this 50% level right here, Solana versus Bitcoin. So if we get a higher low here, Solana is looking extremely strong. So that's very, very positive. One thing that's interesting is Bitcoin is in extreme greed right now. So keep our eyes on that. Typically, extreme greed, typically, not all the times, is more of a good time to take profits than buy, but can't give financial advice on that. I'll tell you a little bit more about what I'm doing towards the end of the video. The daily exchange volume for crypto is still pretty low, and so these could be times I'm thinking good for accumulation, but until we start stair-stepping back upwards, and we've surpassed these levels, we're probably not going to see all-time highs anytime soon. Now, what you guys have all been waiting for potentially is, since you're on this Crypto Astro channel, is the Solana Astrology. So I take the Solana Genesis block and I created birth chart. And these are the transits that are hitting the Solana chart. You see the planets on the left are where the planets are in the sky at these certain dates throughout the month. And then the planets on the right here are the Solana birth chart. So Saturn is conjuncting the Solana Neptune. That already happened on May 30th. This is very bearish, and it's going to be in effect all the way through July. So quite concerning. That's potentially one reason Solana has not gone up, in the last few weeks very much. I mean, it has gone up, but this is likely dampering any major pumps. All right, so be very aware of that. The good news is that around the new moon in Gemini happening on June 6th, a couple days later, but it's still in orb during the full moon, is very, very bullish. Uranus trining the Solana Pluto. Pluto is the planet of wealth. Uranus is the planet of technology and crypto. This is really, really bullish, making a very positive transit here around that new moon. And Bitcoin's also getting a very positive transit on the new moon as well. So we could be seeing continued pumps from Solana. We're already seeing it now. We could continue to see that around June 8th and maybe even afterwards as well. All right. So that's looking very, very bullish. That's one of the most bullish things we have in the next week. The problem is we have this massive transit with Saturn that brings limitation and hard lessons in reality. Conjuncting Neptune on Solana. Neptune often brings a lot of confusion, and markets do not like confusion. So potentially lessons in reality, limitation, and confusion. Not very good astrology for Solana for the next month or two. But we already got the direct hit, and it hasn't done too much damage. Solana went down to I believe the 130s. Not super bad. That was a great buying opportunity for me. I bought that dip, but we're getting it again later in July. So definitely going to be very, very cautious about that. Now I can share what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. I'm also going to be going over the top altcoin picks in my next Crypto Astro Mastermind call, which is coming up very, very soon. And I'm going to be identifying potential 10x, 20x altcoin opportunities. This could be the last chance to have those opportunities in this bull run, because after this summer, we're probably going to be off to the races, and those who miss out are going to, they're going to miss out. So I'm going to be covering this on my next Crypto Astro Mastermind call. If you want to sign up for that, it's coming up very soon. You can click the links below. It's only one payment, and you get lifetime access for monthly calls with me. So all through the bull run, you'll get to ask me questions in the group calls. Super, super high value. I don't know how I can pack any more value. So you guys can check that out in the links below. All right, so the Solana Astrology, it's a bit of a mixed bag. We're getting this negative transit in effect along with this positive one. So it's a bit of a mixed bag, but so far we're getting a nice pump for Solana, and we could continue to see that, like I mentioned. Now, what I'm doing is I am actually planning to sell about 10% more. I already sold 10% of my altcoins just to de-risk because I was all in the last month. So I already took about 10% profits. I might take another 10% profits if Solana continues to pump. Maybe if it gets up to the 180s or beyond, I'll probably take more profits, but just 10%. The rest of the 90% of my bags I'm going to be holding. And then if Solana dumps with this negative transit that it's getting, I will buy back in probably in the next month or so. But not financial advice. So that's what I am thinking. Let me know in the comments what y'all are thinking with Solana, one of the strongest altcoins in this bull run. All right, I'm getting some comments here, tuning in live. When is the most bullish time for BTC and alts this year? Yeah, I mean, towards the end of the year, things are looking quite bullish. All right, so that is the good news. We probably got to wait, but we might need to wait until the elections in November in the United States. Typically, markets pump after the elections. If all goes well, we'll see. It could be a really, really kind of chaotic time in the world. Well, yeah. So I can't give financial advice, but yeah, I'm definitely planning to buy Solana in July, especially if it has dumped a considerable amount. Definitely. Yeah, so potentially Solana could be getting a dump, but creating a higher low. So if we go to the chart, potentially, I don't know. Astrology doesn't tell me how far it's going to dump, but potentially, maybe we pump more and then we fall off in the summer. But that's creating a higher low potentially. So that would be, yeah, a really good scenario. I would really be buying that dip for myself and my strategy. Yeah, it could look something like that. That's what I'm thinking, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I'm going to go grab some dinner with my fam in California. Thanks so much for tuning in. Definitely subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. I'm putting out a lot of high value. I've been about 90% accurate for the last year and a half. So take that into account. Looking forward to seeing you on the next video, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.